Hey, so just really quickly, a couple things about me. If we don't know each other, like I said, my name is Jason. I've been at Surf City for a long time. My first time at Surf City, I was 7th grade going to 8th grade. Is that anybody in here right now? 7th grade going to 8th grade, okay. Cool. And that was my first time at Surf City. That was the only time I went as a camper, but I had an awesome time. The other years just didn't really work out. And then a couple years later, right after high school, I hopped in on staff. I started doing like tech stuff here. I'm a real tech guy, love tech stuff. Where are my tech people at? Yeah, okay, techies, love you. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm gonna throw a quick plug out there for these guys. If you are a junior, if you're going to be a junior in high school this year, maybe there's some student leaders here today, and you're going to be a junior this year, you're able, if I'm not wrong, to apply for staff at Laurelville and Surf City. Guys, those are some of the best memories that I have. I met my best friends working here at camps, and really these people that I can just, that I know and love and able to just kind of live my life with. And if that's something you're thinking about, I can't speak highly of that enough and recommend that enough. So been around Surf City for a long time. Other random stuff, like I said, I don't know. I like tech stuff. I like, video. I'm a big Mac guy. None of that PC crap up in here. I don't need that in my life. But I still love you if you are. That's fine. I'm a huge Disney nerd. Like, yeah, let's go. Y'all, these people get it. The ones who didn't say anything, they don't get it because y'all ain't been there yet. But if you want to go with me, let's go. I'll show you what's up down there. It's a good old time. I don't know. I am, fun facts, I'm absolutely terrible at most sports, but basketball in particular. So if you want to teach me to play basketball this week, I don't really get it. I don't really know how to do it, and I'm bad at it. But I don't know. So if you want to do that with me, that'd be awesome. I don't know. But guys, I want to get to know you this week. I want to hang out with you guys, man, everywhere around camp. Right now, let's start that. On the count of 3, just say your name so I can kind of get to know everybody in the room, hear you, so when I see you, I can say hey to you. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, sick. Yeah, I got all that. You're Paul, right? Not Paul? That's awkward. Oh, she is Paul. Cool. Okay, great. Wonderful. I got at least one of them right here. Awesome. Hey, I know y'all had a super long bus ride. Maybe your foot fell asleep the whole way, something like that. Maybe you forgot somebody along the way. I don't know. I want to check in and make sure everybody's here. So whenever I call your group or your church that you came with, can you go a little crazy, make a little noise? I want to make sure y'all are here. Does that work? Does that work? All right. Make sure. Is Hebron in the house? Hey, let's go. What about my people from Hillside? In the back, I see you. Where is any variation, any campus of Northway? Where are you guys at? Pittsburgh Project, you here? TPP is a place to be, that's what's up. Northbridge, where are you at? And finally, am I forgetting anyone? That's it? That's everyone? You don't get fighting for yourself. New Community, where are you at? New Community is right here. Awesome. I love it. Guys, who are you? New Community's up here. All right. Guys, seriously. I'm excited to hang out with you this week. Man, when you see me out there, I don't know, I'd love to hit the tubes with you. I'd love to throw some elbows around on the battle barge, so come find me. It'll be a great time. Super excited to get to know you guys a little bit this week. I want to really quickly, I figured while I'm here, I'm going to be talking to you guys kind of every evening here, and I figured while I'm here I'd share some of my favorite Surf City stories. Is that cool with you? Cool. So, like I said, my first time at Surf City, I was a middle school student. I was 7th going to 8th grade, and let me describe myself to you in middle school. I think the best way to put it is I didn't have any friends, so I just kind of went with the flow, connected with who I could, and I went to Laurelville in 7th grade. Anybody been to Laurelville? Okay. I went to Laurelville, and then I heard about Surf City there, and then my church started talking about Surf City, and I figured, oh, that sounds fun. I know a couple people who are going, so I'll just kind of hop on that trip. So I signed up, and I went, and I had one kind of buddy who went with me, just like one close-ish friend, and that was great and all, except like on the ride up, my man, this dude, he was a sleep farter. So I don't know if it's like, y'all are pointing people in the room right now. I don't know if it's like a medical thing, but dude would just conk out and the gas just start flowing like it's a nozzle. Like, I don't know like how that happened. So needless to say, like my 8, 9, 10 hour bus ride up here was not exactly a wonderful experience. And then I get here and this dude in a big old bear costume runs on the bus. And I am terrified and I'm unsure of what's happening. I might have cried. I don't really remember. And I get off the bus, and I'm not really sure about what's happening. And like I said, I wasn't really connecting with a lot of people except for maybe my one buddy. And then that evening, Sunday night at Surf City, it happened. I started to miss my mommy. You know. Now, don't act all tough on me, guys. I know every single person in this room, at some point, you're like, oh, I'm here all week. I'm not gonna miss anybody. I wear Supreme stuff, and I'm like tough. Like, I see right through that. You are gonna be missing mommy or daddy or auntie at some point this week. So don't act like you're not. Call them at some point. Tell them you love them. Okay. Anyway, digression done. So I figured I started to miss my mom. And so I started to get a little homesick here night one at camp, so I went to my leader. You know, your leaders, they are great. They're always great people to talk to. So I went to my leader, and I said, Chris, I'm feeling a little homesick, man. Like, I miss my mommy, and like, I'm not really sure about what's happening. He goes, Jason, I hear you, man. Like, I feel for you. We're going to get through this. I'm just playing. He goes, shut up. You'll be fine. So I was like, oh, great. That's great for my character. So I toughed it out that night, and the next day, I'm still feeling it. And so the next day, I went to my backpack, and I had this little bag of quarters. Now, way back when, I had like a cell phone, but it was a flip phone, and I was mad because it wasn't a camera phone, but whatever. My parents didn't send it with me because I had already lost my phone like 2 times in 1 month, so I knew not to send it to Surf City. So I didn't have my phone on me, so I had to take my bag of quarters to the payphone. Shout out to my millennials in the room, the last generation to use the payphone. That's what's up. And so I do the walk of shame from my cabin holding my bag of quarters to like the main office. Camp used to be at Surf City used to be at a different camp down the road. And we walk to the main office, and I pop my quarters in the payphone, and I dial, and I call my mom. My mom picks up, and bless her heart, she is the sweetest woman on the planet. And I pick up, and I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was something effective. Hey, listen, if you need us to come pick you up, we will, but you'll be fine. Just kind of tough it out. And so I did. Guys, I stuck it through that next day. As soon as I hit day 2 and day 3, I had an incredible time. That turned around, and that year ended up being like the best experience of my life. And it wasn't just because of it wasn't just because of all the things that were happening, the people I was with, but I do want to let you guys know, hey, if that's you, stick it out. Don't worry, you'll be fine. I also want to say this to you guys, that this week is going to be exactly what you make it. This week is going to be exactly what you make it. Man, if you are here and you're leaning all in, you're going nuts in club, you're just cheering your friends on when they're like eating sand, and like people are like smacking each other with pool noodles and you're not really sure, but you're going crazy for it. Guys, if you're willing to lean into this awesome stuff this week, you are going to have an incredible week. I promise you that. This week's going to be exactly what you make it here. And that's kind of how I felt about my first year here at Surf City, because it wasn't just awesome because of all the things we were doing and the people I met and stuff like that. It was incredible for me, and it was life-changing for me because of what I learned about a man named Jesus. And so this week, I want to talk a little bit about Jesus. Maybe you knew that kind of coming into this. Maybe you didn't. Maybe somebody just said, hey, come to this camp. There's tubing and wave runners and people dress up in weird costumes, and it's going to be great. And you were like, I'm into that. Let's go. And you showed up today, and you didn't know this was happening. You just got Jesus juked. And so welcome to it. I love you. So glad you're here right now. But I'm going to talk a little bit about Jesus this week and some things we maybe may or may not know about him. And so here's where I want to start this week. Whenever I say Jesus, a lot of different things kind of happen in your head for different people. Different people have different images of Jesus. They have different understandings of Jesus. And I want to start with like the most popular one, all right? This right here, this is my boy White Jesus. His name is White Jesus because he is Caucasian. And I don't know why though, because dude is from like the Middle East, so I don't know why he has pictures in like this sometimes. I don't know why he's got blonde hair and blue eyes. Figure that one out. I'm not really sure. But this dude here, maybe he's somebody that this is what you kind of picture when you think of Jesus. He's kind of throwing up gang signs there. I'm not really sure what that is. And you think about this guy and you think like, man, okay, so that's like the church thing, and you kind of show up on like Christmas and Easter, I think, because those seem to be kind of like important days, important things happen, and I hope I do those things, and I hope I'm kind of a good person so that like he'll just love me at some point and that sort of thing. And that's like kind of the version of Jesus that a lot of people tend to picture. But what I want to do here this week is I want to get to know not this guy up here. I want to get to know the real Jesus, the Jesus we find here in the Bible. All these stories about him, what he said, what he did, and who he was. Here's why, because I've found that as I have got to know Jesus, the real Jesus, man, he is incredible, absolutely incredible. And here's why. This Jesus we're going to talk about this week, I learned that he invites ordinary people to an extraordinary life. I know that was real social media-able, so I'm going to say that again in case you want to tweet it later. Jesus invites ordinary people to an extraordinary life. Help me fill these blanks in. Are you ready? Jesus invites ordinary people to an extraordinary life. Extraordinary. An ordinary life to something bigger and better than you could ever imagine or dream of. And I want to show you where I see this week. I want to open up the Bible for a second, and I want to read a story about Jesus and where we see this kind of come to life. So there's this story in the Bible about a guy named Levi. Look at somebody, say Levi. Levi was a tax collector, okay? And what you need to know about tax collectors is that they were hated by everyone. Like I'm not, I know I can be a little extra sometimes, and I know but I'm not being sarcastic right now. These tax collectors were despised by everyone. They wanted nothing to do with tax collectors because here's why. These guys, these tax collectors, they kind of worked for a foreign government that was kind of invaded a land that anybody didn't want anything to do with. And so they worked for that government, and they said, hey, I'm going to go to my friends and my neighbors, I'm going to collect taxes from them and give it to this government that's not really from our land. But they didn't just stop there. They kind of pocketed some of that money for themselves. They kind of kept some of that money, and people knew they did this. It was their neighbor, it was their friend, the people that they saw, and this is how they were treating them. And they said, no, I don't want anything to do with you. They kind of cut them out of their life, and they moved on. And so this is kind of the interaction that we see here with Jesus and Levi in this story in the book of Luke. Here's what it says. It says, after this, Jesus left the house. Jesus had just been walking around all day, teaching people, healing people, and just talking and spending time with people. And after this, he leaves the house. It's a pretty exciting story already. He says he saw a tax collector sitting at the tax booth, and the man's name was Levi. Follow me, Jesus said to him. Levi got up, left everything, and followed him. I'm going to stop right there for a second because that's just pretty nuts to me that Jesus goes up and says two words. He looks at Levi, this tax collector, and he says, hey, follow me. And Levi, this dude, gets up, says that he leaves everything. He leaves all this money he had accumulated. He leaves kind of this status that he had as a tax collector, and he follows Jesus. It goes on, it says, then Levi gave a huge banquet, a huge party for Jesus at his house. A large crowd of tax collectors and others were eating with them. But the Pharisees and their teachers of the law complained to Jesus' disciples. So we have a new character here, these Pharisees. They're basically like religious police. I don't know if you know this, but Jesus and his boys, they were Jewish. They were Jews. And so the Jews, basically, their Bible is what we call the Old Testament in the Bible. And so in the Old Testament, we find all these laws where God is saying, hey, if you are my people, here's kind of a way I want you to live. And so these Pharisees kind of went around making sure everybody was acting right, following these rules. And then they sprinkled in their own rules on top of it and said, hey, I want to make sure you're living right and acting. And they're going to enforce that law if you don't. So the Pharisees coming around, they're asking Jesus' disciples, they're saying, why do you eat and drink with the tax collectors and the sinners? Jesus overhears them and he answers them. He says, healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I have not come to get those who think they are right with God to follow me, but I have come to get sinners to turn away from their sins. I'm going to read that first line again. Healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people do. Guys, something I've been thinking about is this. We look at this Levi guy, right? This ordinary dude. In fact, I would argue less than ordinary. He was hated, despised. People were constantly talking about how much they hated him. They said things about him. He was cast out, pushed out of his town, his family. People wanted nothing to do with him. He was less than ordinary. But Jesus sees him, and he says, Levi, follow me. And notice that he doesn't say, hey, Levi, clean yourself up a little bit and then follow me. He doesn't say, hey, Levi, you need to start acting right and then follow me. You need to change this, this, and this and then follow me. Jesus says, no, Levi, I see you right now just as you are. Follow me. And Levi, for some reason, he gets up, he leaves everything, and he follows Jesus. That's pretty impressive to me because it would take a lot for me to leave things that I care about. Can I write a check to somebody? Anybody here? Right here. Can you come up here for a sec so I can write you a check? Yeah, come on up. Come on up. Let me just get ready to do this. I've always wanted to do this. I enter into Publishers Clearinghouse every week, and so I want to make sure this will work. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, give it up. Give it up. Hold on, sorry. Okay. All right, what's your name? What is it? Ellery. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So I have a check here. All right, Ellery, how do you spell that? I'm not smart, so you guys take it slow for me. E-L-L-E-R-Y. Okay, so I'm going to pay it to you. How much money do you want? $5? I got a blank check here. You asking for $5? Like any amount of, let's bump that up a little bit. All right, $20, fair. How about this? I'm going to be real generous to you, Ellery. I like you. How about $100,000? Can I write a check to you for $100,000? Okay, great. Deal. That's deal or no deal right there, baby. There we go. And let's see, this is like a lot of dollars. Okay, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to just give it to you because you're awesome. I'm just going to write awesome here. And I'm just going to sign this off here. Say Jason Wobble. Okay, and I'm going to date this for Monday. Can you wait to cash it until Monday? I got to move some stuff around. Okay, great. So let's call it, I think that's 5 to Sunday, something like that. Okay, wonderful. So Ellery, I'm ready for you to take this. You can take it to PNC, cash it wherever. But there's a catch. Okay, on the other side of that door, do you see that door? On the other side of that door is something else, okay? If you go through that door, you can have what's through that door, but you won't get this. So, Ellery, I just want to know. Hold up. So I just want to know, what would have to be through that door? Listen up, guys. Listen up. Eyes up here. What would have to be through that door for you to leave this check? What's that? Jesus would have to be through. That'd be pretty sweet. I mean, I'll take that answer. That works. Would you, if there was more money on the other side of the door, would you go for that? Maybe. Okay. If there was like a house on the other side of the door, would you go for that? You wouldn't? You just take the money and run? Well, we're going to talk to Ellery later and see how she wants to slice this up. Give it up for Ellery for me. You want to grab a seat? Thanks for helping me out here. So here's basically my point here. This is like a lot of dollars. If any of your names were here, whatever your name is, you all shouted out to me earlier, I knew them. If your name was here and I said, hey, there's something on the other side of that door. Once you go through that door, you can have it, but you have to leave this. Certainly, you'd only go through that door if you knew there was something better on the other side of it, right? Like if there was something bigger, more money, a super nice car, something like that. And I've been thinking about this, and I realized, man, Levi, to just get up and follow Jesus, to leave everything and follow Jesus, he has to think or know that if I leave what I'm leaving right now, I'm stepping into something bigger and better than what I even have. All this stuff that I have here. Guys, as I've been thinking about this, as I've been thinking about Levi, here's what I can't stop thinking about. If Jesus calls ordinary people, invites them to an extraordinary life, ordinary is me. Like, there's nothing special about me. I'm not that smart. I don't have, like, all these special talents. If Jesus calls Levi, an ordinary person, to follow him, that he calls me. Guys, this is a really good thing. You're ordinary people. A lot of you have super cool stuff about you, but at the end of the day, we're all just ordinary people. And Jesus comes to you and says, hey, follow me. And don't miss it, guys. He doesn't say, hey, kind of clean your act up first before you come follow me. He doesn't say, hey, learn this, this, and this about me, and then come follow me. No, he sees you right now, right where you are. Whatever you left at home, whatever you brought here to camp, he sees you. He knows who you are. And he says, hey, follow me. Jesus is inviting you to follow him. Something I'm going to be talking about all this week is this. Do you know Jesus? And I don't mean know about, right? You know there's a difference between knowing about somebody and knowing them, right? Like you can know about somebody. You can know stats about them, maybe a celebrity or a sports star that you like. Like you know, their record. You know where they like to eat, stuff like that. I don't know where you find that information. It's weird, but like you know about a lot of people, but you know your friends, right? You know them personally. You have a relationship with them. You know stuff about them. You spend time with them, and they know you. When you walk into a situation with them, you pretty much know how they're going to act in that situation because you know them. And so what I want to think about this week is this. Do you know Jesus? Not just know about the story of Jesus, the whole born in a manger, died on a cross, and he rose again. Not just know the songs that we sing about. And we have an awesome band this week that's playing a lot of awesome songs, and maybe you know the words to every single one of them. But don't miss it. Don't just know about Jesus because of the songs. No, do you know Jesus? The real Jesus who says, hey, I see you. I know you. Follow me. I want to pray really quick to end our time. I just want to talk to God for a second, thank him for this week, and kind of just invite him into our time here. Why don't you bow your heads and pray with me? Father, we thank you for Surf City and the week we are going to have, the plans that you've already started for us, and everything that is going to happen. Father, this week, would you help us to know Jesus and help us to know who he is and that he has called us to follow him no matter who we are, no matter where we're coming from this week. Help us to learn more about you and your great love for us, we pray. Would somebody say amen? Amen.